918. Y'all know what it is. That girl, Big Wye Nott. Wye Nott Studios, that's what we call me. You know, like he said, there are many titles. Call me a jack of all trades, and I'm a master of many. I call myself the Black Martha if you want to, baby. What you want?
Oh, the Black Martha? That's a new one. I know about that.
Get the Black Martha. You come get your kids, babysit. You come. I got the macaroni elbow.
Oh, wait. You doing babysit?
Hey, whatever to make the dollar. I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man, I got to, man. I'm up here in Wye Nott Studios, okay?
Oh, let me get in.
We up in the studio, okay?
Hey, we relaxing.
In the studio and this thing.
It's been a long day, locking all day. Shout out to the customer before you, whatever that is, that 1942, 72, 77. It was one of them. It's one of them burgundies. Bourbons.
My man had to drink though. I didn't say nothing. I was gonna say something.
I was about to pass out though.
You gotta get it how you live, man.
Gotta get it. He was sweating. He was about to pass out. I had to hurry up and get him out.
But you know, I fall asleep all the time when they doing my hair.
Yeah.
I mean, not from being drunk, but I be falling asleep.
I think he was feeling good because if you would have seen the way that bottle looked before you got here.
It looked like it was a dent in it.
Yeah, it was all
It was a good dent in it.
And a Starbucks cup. You already know how it is about that Starbucks or that Quick Trip cup. If you come in a Quick Trip cup or a Starbucks cup, it's over with. I've been doing locks for
22 years.
22 years.
22 years, doing locks.
And mine's touched the ground 4 to 5. This is my 5th time going to the ground.
Good Lord.
My 5th time going to the ground.
You see how long things is.
I got this one ducktail that drags the ground, and I only let him down when I'm at home. This baby, she does. Here we go.
Can I?
Yeah, she does the ground.
Cause usually, I haven't seen dread this long.
That's my duck.
And I don't just be letting anyone touch my hair. You know what I'm saying? Cause
I don't either.
Look, I tell people only the hands of a melanated queen can touch this hair.
I usually don't let nobody touch my hair just because people's spirits is weird.
Yeah.
I had a chick tell me that when I first started out. She was like, I wasn't doing it for a spiritual thing. I just seen the hustle. And I knew how to braid hair. You know, they always got to, they say back in the day, all Cali girls know how to braid. And you better learn how to braid because all the dudes back in mud, they all had hair. You know, we up here, they come on, that's when I seen more of the ball fading and all that other stuff. But back at home, they either had dreads or they had, the braids. So I did, our curls. So I, wanted to keep my boyfriend out the chick I took him from.
Oh!
Yeah, it was my boy. That's the only reason why I got to do it. Like that.
Okay, I looked through them. You got a ton of beautiful people on there, beautiful models, very eccentric. I don't know if my viewers ain't never seen her photography. It's very tasteful, very sexy. It's a whole lot about it. There's really some true art to this. So what's the process like whenever people they show up for a photo shoot? They say, look, I want to wear this, this, and this. Or I want to look this way. Is there something specific you're trying to capture with them?
And so let me show you. Wye Nott is not I'm not your typical photographer when it comes to essential photography.
Okay.
So this is like an Airbnb. So it's like 3,900 square feet of. I got a private house in the back where they come and the ladies book me for the weekend or a week. And during that whole week, we pick out different. Fantasy ideas, realistic ideas of life photography. Like, say you've been through something, you've been through pain. So we'll capture that pain, but we'll also capture the joy after the pain.
Okay.
So you come and the ladies book sessions with me, and you could come and do a pop-up and get some photos taken. But the main thing is when you come, you book. It's like an Airbnb. It's a photography Airbnb. You have your own room. You have totally access to the studio all weekend. I feed you. I pamper to you, massage you, your mind, your body. I do your lashes. If it's locks, I do your hair, natural hair.
Okay.
And I dress you in eccentric,
attire,
clothing. I got a whole closet full of kind of just jewels, whatever you think of. I got a whole little closet, and you could bring your girls. You could have like a slumber party, or you could just do you. But the main key is when you walk through the door. That's when the affirmation starts. We start affirming you. That's when you start affirming yourself.
Okay.
And so you take that whole session, and if it's a day session, or even if it's 3 days and you spend the whole weekend here, as soon as you come to the door, the affirming starts.
Okay.
So about time it's done, you leave with more affirmation. It's something that you can. I try to give them something that they could either burn and leave. Mm-hmm. Like we'll burn it and leave it. This is what we're getting off of us, so we can receive the new. Or you leave with something that you can repeat yourself. So when you look at these pictures, you are affirming yourself every time. You can remember that session. You gonna remember that session.
That's deep because when people come to you, they're getting a full experience.
Full experience.
Excuse me. You also use the word affirmation, like you affirm yourself, and that really comes from a place of love.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
so I did.
Nobody love you. You gotta love.
That is affirmation is a part of love language. Right. And so that's what's up, man.
I love hard. I'm a little mean with my love, but it's assured love. I mean, because, I don't think God ain't around here, the universe ain't around here piggybacking and dedicating the love. I need that love that gives instruction and the guidance. So, yeah, and we're going to come through and assure you and guide you back to where you need to be. And you come through here, we're going to affirm you. We're going to love you. Well, I'm a one-woman show. Like I said, the Black Market.
Hey, my name is Jerica Wortham. I am a Tulsa native. I am a creative practitioner. I am a dreamer and a person that loves to help others' dreams come true. That is a part of my vision. So ultimately, I am the owner, founder, CEO of Parley LLC, where we live, love, speak, and create. That has parlayed itself into a host of creative endeavors, including the Parley Reloaded live show that's been around for nearly a decade, the Parley Literary Magazine, which then parlayed itself into a publishing company where we are the home of the Amazon bestsellers. Whoop, whoop. And then I also then moved forward to creating opportunities for students and for working adults to continue their education by having the Parley Scholarship Fund.
Parley Publishing. Parley Live. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everything Parley. Okay? We're going to chop it up about Parley.
Yeah.
One thing that I want people to see when they see my videos is, this is YouTube, so these are the things that ultimately interest me. But whenever people see these videos, I want them to say, okay, what is Jerica doing that I can do myself to take a step out there on my own, to become an entrepreneur, to do something I love doing. Because that's ultimately what I'm working on. I got some entrepreneurial goals I'm working towards. So what are some of the steps that you took to create Parley, just to create your own brand, your own publishing? How did that all come together?
So it definitely started with the magazine, which was the Parley Literary Magazine. And that was really just a result of having amazingly talented friends, and they were wordsmiths and they were poets, but they weren't necessarily the people that would get on stage. Like, I was here for the stage. I'm here, I want to feel the energy. Yeah. I want to see the audience face when I flip a word or whatever. Like, I like that experience, right? Yeah. And so that's how I tend to communicate, or I write. But I have friends that would never get on stage, and I was like, but they were just like leaving all of this beautiful writing, just like no one was seeing it. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. And so I was like, well, I should do like a magazine. They can share their work, but they can still, be comfortable. Mm-hmm. And then I can also like bring in other people, and we can all just kind of use our skill sets. So it was bringing in my friends that were artists, bringing in graphic designers, bringing in local photographers. It's really just allowing everyone an opportunity to use their gifts, because at this point, we're adulting, right? We were young, but we were young adulting, right? And so people's, the fun part was starting to slip away. People weren't able to really kind of work within their natural gifts and talents. Mm-hmm. And so it just really kind of provided an opportunity for people to do that, which then led way to a live showcase. Like, I was presented with an opportunity, there was a venue, and they said, hey, we want to, start having these types of events in our establishment. Are you down to create something? Yeah. And I was like, absolutely. So that's when Parley Live began, which was another awesome experience. It, again, was just providing people the opportunity to tell their stories, an opportunity to share their work. There's so many people that looking back now, like 10 years later, there are like people that are just like, man, I got my start at J Parley. Like my very first show was at J Parley. It's great now, like looking back, like, oh man, O'Malley, that was your first show, and like, oh man, like Steph, you was performing it. Like it was just, it's beautiful to like Grand J. Like it was so many dope like it was so many dope artists that came through and blessed the stage, and it was really just about community. Like. I want to hear some dope stuff. I know other people want to hear dope stuff. I know other people want to share their dope stuff that they're working on, and they're looking for a space to do it. So why not? It's just like this. Like this is going to be great because you're allowing people to tell their stories in their own unique ways, and so that's needed. So we began to look into how do we continue to give back to our communities. And then at that point, you know, you're always like doing poetry. Like, when are you going to come out with the book? And so I wrote a book, but it was expensive, like looking into publishing companies. Yeah. Stupid expensive. And so I just kind of looked into self-publishing and that process. And I was like, man, this is not, I mean, this is something cool. Yeah. My left brain was activated. And I thought, you know, what a wonderful opportunity to potentially give other artists the opportunity to have their works published and not hit them over the head with pricing. So just, again, providing a service that they need that can also ultimately help them in their situation. Now they'll have merch when they go to shows. Now they're having another residual piece of income because, you know, they're making money while they're sleeping. You know, people buy things off of Amazon or whatever. So, and with that, it's just always, of course, service is a part of our lives, you know. Those Greek organizations were all about that service. Thinking about like ways that my particular organization could give back. And one of the gaps that I was seeing at that time was that there were working adults that needed funding for school, just really trying to provide practical resources for people.
I'm Allie Shaw. I'm host of the Weekend Rewind on 105 KJamz. You may hear me Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and surrounding areas. I have several job titles here at Perry Broadcasting, but that's usually how people know who I am. I'm also a co-host on the Fire in Little Africa podcast. If you have not listened to the Fire in Little Africa album, you need to do that. And I do a lot of different things. I host events, I DJ from time to time. A lot of things have changed because of the pandemic. And I've made some adjustments. But yeah, I have several, going back to Perry Broadcasting, I have several job titles. Primarily, I'm the production director, which means that I assign production, whether I give it to an on-air talent for them to voice, or I voice it myself. I dub in a lot of commercial audio. So that's kind of like the primary department, but I'm also a musician. Sure, I love doing voiceover work. And I'm still trying to branch out. I feel like it's something I can do for the rest of my life. I've won awards in production, the Oklahoma Association of Broadcasters a couple of times. I did some work with, let me see if I can do my lead. Pharoah Monch.
Pharoah Monch, okay.
Yeah, it was on his last album, 13. It's called A Magnificent Day for an Exorcism. And I really had to branch out and basically pretend to be the priest in the scene from The Exorcist when they were praying to Our Father.
This on his latest, because I got to go back and listen to it now. I'm going to go back and check it out.
It's actually a new group that he has formed. It's him, Marcus Machado, who's a guitar player, and Daru Jones, who plays the drums. He also plays with Jack White. He's a dope drummer. Yeah, and so they formed this group, and it's out there. Like it can be pretty dark, but it's very intense, and it's Pharoah Monch, man. Like the lyrics are amazing, and it just kind of came through an Instagram DM, and I said, I want to be on your new. Let me do some voiceover work for you.
Oh man, I got to check that out. I don't have to. I love a good listen. I love finding out something new. I think it's dope that you do voiceover work. That's something I'm definitely interested in. So congratulations on that. And that's something I'm definitely going to check out.
Yeah, voiceover coaching is actually something I really want to dive into more. So you let me know.
I'm gonna definitely let you know for sure. For sure.
Yeah, because I could hear it. As soon as you walked in today, I was like, oh, yeah, he got a big
I'm also a hip hop fan.
Okay.
The 2018 Women's Cipher, Female Cipher. I saw you working with Bambi. I got a list here. Ayala, Bambi, Tizzy, T-Rush, Cheyenne Davis.
Yes.
Okay, so
City.
So what was that like bringing all of them together? I saw the video. King Spencer filmed the video. I saw that. I just thought it was dope. It was just a mean cipher. How did all that come together?
Just working with different artists in the community, and I wanted to see. It's kind of like hey, girls can rap too.
Yeah.
Women are hard. And I really wanted to put the spotlight on them. And a couple of my friends are in the video as well. Des got Steez. And my good friend Gabby Castaneda, aka Artsier Than We. She's a dope photographer, but she loves hip hop. She's a huge heart for hip hop.
I've seen her around. I've seen her.
Dope. I just call her an artist. She's an artist. And Des is in Oklahoma City. She does a lot of public relations. She's very well connected in Oklahoma City with a lot of artists there.
Okay.
So it was important for them to their presence be there as well, because I'm like, they add, they're kind of more of that behind the scenes. But I really wanted to put a spotlight on, not only T-Rush is kind of like, hey, I've been around, but I'm, she's kind of like the I would say the vet, if you will, in the video at that time.
I'm with you.
And then you have these other artists, like Tizzy was kind of just starting out, Ayala was just starting out, Cheyenne been doing her thing for a minute, and then here come, Bambi is just like a boss, like she just, so I really just wanted to put that spotlight on women. And I actually was supposed to do a female spitters showcase right before the shutdown of the pandemic. I had, let's see, Tori T, Bambi, and Jerica Wortham. Okay. Which she was going to come out as Mrs. Wortham at that time. And I think she ended up just coming,
as an aunt to her husband, Mr. Wortham.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I had DJ Kylie. So I wanted nothing but female performers, a female DJ, and then I was going to host, and I was going to rap a little.
Oh, you got bars?
Tiny bit.
Okay. Okay. Hey, we love to hear them. I'm a hip hop fan. Okay. This is hip hop, baby. All right. This is hip hop. Okay.
Big time. After that, I was asked to be a co-host on the podcast. So I host with Doc Free. Okay. We've been doing it about once a week for more than a year. We've kind of slowed down a little bit recently. But yeah, it has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And just calling attention to, what happened here in 1921.
But one dope thing that in radio that I've seen, you've interviewed some really famous people, really successful people. Blackstreet, Teddy Riley.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite interviews ever.
See, look, we might have to talk about that. But Teddy Riley, I think Tito Jackson.
That poster up there, yes.
You say one of the Jacksons. Yes. So you've interviewed some really successful people. Those are some major names. They made no small fries.
My very first interview was LL Cool J. That was on the phone.
No, but still.
Yeah, but still. I freaked out. I was so nervous, but I told myself, I want to ask him something no one else would ask him. And I'm the production director, so I was doing a lot of commercials. During that time, he had a commercial, I think it was for Toyota.
I remember he did a Toyota commercial, for RAV4.
Yeah, he probably was.
He was talking like RAV4.
Yeah, but he was like Benny the Bulldog.
Okay.
And so I brought it up, during the interview, and I was like, and I just want to, he just started laughing, and I was like, yeah, he's like, no one ever says that, I'm like, yeah, that's what I actually do here. Yeah. So that was a really great interview. I was so nervous, but it came out really good.
What do you think has been your most memorable in-person interview? Just a dope interview you did in person, just left you with a memorable experience?
So many.
I know, I'm looking at all these, so I see a lot of autographs up here, so I know you rough shoulders with.
Well, can I get more than one?
You can get as many as you want to.
I would say Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
I was actually in an interview with Cool Keith. He was here at that time.
Was this for the 918? For Hip Hop 918?
Yeah, Hip Hop 918.
That was dope. I was there.
So he did a couple of those. One year he came and performed, but that year he was here to host. Okay. And so we actually were able to have him come in the studio and talk about, who else he was bringing on. I think Slick Rick was there.
Slick Rick, MC Light.
Roxanne Shante.
Yep. It was great.
So he comes in, and they're already in the studio. I'm doing other work, I'm doing production stuff, and my boss was like, oh, this is your seat, and it's right next to him. So I walk in there, I'm like, I couldn't even look at him because Big Daddy Kane is like one of my most favorite rappers of all time since I was a kid. So I sit down like, oh my God, I'm sitting right next to Big Daddy Kane. And he was the most gracious, like down to earth. He was so cool. I was gonna say one more. I'll say Chili from TLC was really great. She was so sweet, and I brought all of my CDs with me because I'm a huge TLC fan too. And she's like, "Oh, you a fan? I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. Like I've been listening to you since the very beginning," and that was a really great interview.
That's amazing.
She's really sweet. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley was super dope. Me and Aaron Bernard. He's the host of the Old School Sunday Night Live on Sundays. Yes. Yep. And we got an interview with them. I want to say we went for at least 45 minutes talking to them. And it was him, Dave Hollister, and the other two guys from Black Street. You see how I just automatically go there?
Yeah, I'm with you though.
Yeah. But yeah, and he got to talking about when he produced Michael Jackson's Dangerous album, and we're both looking at each other like, oh my God.
Yo, he produced on that album?
Yes! Like we had not forgotten, but it was just one of those, oh yeah!
Wait, that's the one with Remember the Time on it, right?
Yes! He did a ton of production work on that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, go back and listen and you'll hear that.
I was a snapper back then.
Yeah.
I was doing all that. I was
go look up Teddy Riley's bio, man. He has some deep, he's literally creator of the new Jack Swing.